What is going on, wrestling fans? You have stumbled upon WrestlingRumors.net's Raw pre-show. That happens just about every single Monday night, and of course it happens before pay-per-views. So we did one of these last night with this panel, excluding John. John was not with us for that, but John is here tonight to do a little bit of some wrestling talk. We're joined again by Alex Bisong, who of course has Ryback in his lower third, Image holding the IC title. That's the only gold that we'll probably ever see him hold, so that's good.
He's won 4 other titles, so
enjoy it now. This is his first title win ever.
He's a 5-time champion. We all know this.
He is now. He can actually now say that he actually has won. He has actually won WWE Gold for the first time ever in life after 3 years of doing his whole shtick. So congratulations to the Ryhack. Your matches are going to suck. And then we have the Dailies joining us as well, Sam and Adam. Before we get going into Raw tonight, let's talk a little bit about the Chamber, because we haven't had a chance to do this, except for the Dailies did it on their review show immediately after the pay-per-view right here on WrestlingRumors.net. And now that we're all here, we're going to talk about a little bit of the WWE Chamber. A show that came out of left field and out of nowhere, hastily put together, gave us a few good things and a few god-awful things. Let's start from the top with Brian and Miz doing Miz TV. I want to know your thoughts on the Miz TV segment for those that saw it.
Anybody? Anybody go first? I'll go first. I don't know. I really thought it was a throwaway match, other than just to say that that Daniel Bryan will eventually be back. Other than that, I thought it was a throwaway segment. You had Mandow come out as Macho Mandow and Curtis Axel come out as Hulk Hogan. I just thought it was just a complete throwaway. It was dumb, unnecessary, and just a waste of time.
I think it hit on 3 big points. Daniel Bryan will wrestle again. Promoted Tough Enough with Miz and Bryan being how they weren't Tough Enough together, or in NXT, together before, or whatever. Miz being on Tough Enough before. So promoted Tough Enough, promoted Daniel Bryan returning eventually, and it did bring back Macho Mandow in full circle with the Miz. So I think it actually hit 3 bullet points that they wanted to hit. So if that's what they were looking for, I think it was effective.
Yeah, I watched it out of the corner of my eye, just kind of half-heartedly watched it. I mean, it was nice if Bryan can, definitively say, I guess, that he'll be back someday. We kind of don't know when, but other than that, it did what it had to do. It had some kind of, babyface moment at the end, which all these things have. I don't know, if Mandow's going to end up feuding with Miz again. I don't really think so. I think they just threw something together to have right before the show.
I see it. I see you just sitting there. Not even drinking your beer. Just holding your beer up to your mouth.
I gotta be honest. The way you're talking tonight is almost like Vern Lundquist golf commentary.
I will go total Happy Gilmore on you if I need to with Vern Lundquist. Volkswagen! What? You just gonna drink some more? That's fine. Tell me what you thought about the frickin' segment.
I didn't see it, man. I told you. I still haven't seen the segment yet.
What's wrong with you?
I know Daniel Bryan's coming.
You had all day to go back and watch it, John. You're failing.
I work all day.
Yeah, well, some of us do too, but we watch stuff while we're working. I watched the entire pay-per-view again.
Baseball and more baseball. Okay.
If you didn't know, John is back at the MLB Network. I almost said WWE. I was
Network.
like, holy crap, this is awesome. P.S. John works for WWE now. No, he's at the MLB Network, so he's doing all kinds of crazy. Yeah, I see your thing. Remote, terrible. For me, it was nice to hear Bryan talk about it. Miz consistently doing. He was off doing his movie, and he came back. I don't care what anybody says. Miz still is the most consistent heel that I've seen on TV. He's the perfect heat getter. He gets heat all the time.
He has massive potential. Not that they do managers anymore, but he could be one of the best heel managers.
Absolutely.
Of the generation, if that's the route they chose to go with him, but they can't because they don't use managers outside of
Absolutely, absolutely. And when he's done wrestling, when his in-ring career is done, the guy, if he doesn't go on to act outside of straight to DVD movies. The guy could literally be a manager for 20 to 30 years. He could totally pull a Freddie Blassie and be the biggest heel manager on the planet. Because no matter what you say about Paul Heyman, which we'll talk about soon, Paul Heyman, as good of a heel manager as he is, he's just a good freaking manager, period. And people love Paul Heyman as much as they do to boo Paul Heyman. So with The Miz, you just constantly want to boo the guy. He's so good at getting heat. He came out looking like like a nun from freaking Sister Act, and all. I mean, it's just, whatever he was wearing last night was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But again, that's part of his masterful heat-seeking work as a character. It's so dumb, and it's so like in your face, over the top, fashion chic. I don't even know what part of the country this thing that he was wearing comes from, or what part of the world that this thing he was wearing comes from. But it was the most ridiculous looking outfit, and so immediately you're like, freak, this freaking guy. Like, he's coming out here with a headdress on. Like, what? It's not even a hoodie. You can't call it a hoodie. Jerry the King Lawler tried to say it was a hoodie, and freaking Michael Cole and JB are like, hoodie? That's not a hoodie. Like, Michael Cole, who used to be the biggest men's fan ever, if we remember that, just dogged him the entire time, which was hilarious. And I don't know. I really think the inclusion, and I don't know if I like it or if I hate it, but they're freaking the inclusion of Mandow with the Miz again makes me feel like we're going for a whole nother Miz Mandow program. Which, I mean, do we really want to see that again?
If it was Damian Sandow, yeah.
Correct. But this is what we said would happen on this show. How many times did we say I think the Mandow thing is going to go until the Miz now, after getting attacked last night, has all he needs to come out tonight and dog the fact that Sandow's back in a gimmick and doing all this stuff and that he's not worth anything, and then we get a program maybe with Damian Sandow. I mean, they remix his freaking music to only use it for 1 week, so I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully they do something well here. Also, what was not advertised, another match that's never advertised on the kickoff show, is Stardust versus someone. And Zack Ryder got the call last night, so it was Zack Ryder versus Stardust, and of course, Stardust wins with the Queen's Crossbow, is what he's calling it, only because of freaking Arrow and the tie-in that's coming for SummerSlam. It was the Crossroads, and he called it the Queen's Crossbow, and of course, it doesn't want any connection to Cody Rhodes whatsoever. Not a terrible match. Zack Ryder, it gets like 0 credit, but the guy can work. I mean, he worked with John Cena this past Monday. It was a good match, and the match last night wasn't awful with Cody Rhodes, and just it's no lack of recognition for the guy. Oh, he's cheesy, and his music's super cheese. It always has been. If they ever gave this guy, a darker gimmick to work with, a more serious thing to work with, I think he could do good. Or he could just get pink slipped like he's going to this month and go work the indies and make a crap ton of money. What did you guys think about the Stardust match?
I don't know. I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything big. They didn't really have any build-up for it. Zack Ryder's kind of an afterthought at this point. I just thought it was something to toss in. It wasn't bad. I'll give him that. It wasn't anything phenomenal, though.
It's a shame because I think Zack Ryder looks like he's in the best shape he's been in probably years too. Yeah. And if he ends up getting pink slip, maybe he's preparing for something, going forward. Hopefully, maybe they can time it. I don't know. It seems like he's in really, really good shape compared to what he's been in. But It was one of those when you put Stardust, impromptu match, Stardust versus Ryder. I don't think anybody was latched onto it too much.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was going to be a 5-star match, but it was decent for what it was. It set up this whole, Stardust is still trying to distance himself from anything Cody Rhodes, which is hilarious, and I love when he gets on Twitter and says Cody Rhodes sucks, which is awesome. But hopefully they do something with this, and of course we're going to see Amel from Arrow get involved somehow. If it's not even wrestling a match, he's going to be at SummerSlam, and there's going to be some kind of interaction between the Green Arrow and, of course, Stardust, who is dressing like Mr. Sinister, but with a galaxy gimmick. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to the card, we had the first ever tag team title match inside the chamber. Guys, your thoughts on this chaotic freaking thing?
I almost looked like a genius for a minute.
Right?
How about that?
Right? You are the only one that picked.
I
You there?
still think PP has stock. I do. You got me?
Yeah,
You got me?
yeah, you're kind of like being all frozen and stuff. Right now, the face that you're making on the
Going in
camera
and
is
out?
ridiculously awesome. There you go.
Okay. I for some reason think they have stock in PTP. I do. I think that there's something to be made of them. They never had a tag title run. The two of them just reek charisma, and Darren Young's finisher is freaking sweet. And I thought there might be something. I watched this match back. Thought it was decent. Clearly, they have long-term plans for the New Day, so we'll see what comes of them.
I mean, all the little spots they were trying to pull. I mean, I'm assuming that on paper, Kalisto had a lot of spots that he was going to try to do. It looked like he was going to do some kind of cool spot from the top where he
It
was
was a tough
swinging.
match to book, Doug.
I mean, it's really hard. Not only you can't have a really good match inside of the chamber, period. There are no really good matches. There are really good spots. It's a lot like a multi-person ladder match. I mean, when you look at the ladder match from WrestleMania, even it's a spot fest. That's what these matches call for. Spot fest. You can go inside the Hell in a Cell and have an amazing match telling a story. Go and look at, I mean, the freaking first one was Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and then, of course, Mankind, Undertaker, Brock and Taker, Triple H, and Cactus Jack. I mean, you can go, I mean, look at the end of the era Undertaker and Triple H match inside the cell. You could tell a story inside the cell. Inside Elimination Chamber, they can try to tell stories. They did their best when Shawn Michaels busted through the ring, of course, and cost Undertaker the title. But freaking A, it's a spot fest, and it looked like they were trying to set up a bunch of different spots. Torito sat on top of the pod the entire time for God knows why. That was the most ridiculous thing, that he was just standing there. And then, of course, Kalisto, which was a cool spot where he was going to do, they were going to both dive off the pods, and New Day, crotches him and gets him down into their pod. But that was cool. And then he just starts crawling all over the place. Trying to, and Pijo, Taker and Mankind did have a lot of spot fests in it. I mean, there were a lot of spots, but they told a freaking story with it. It wasn't just a spot fest. You've lost your mind. There was really good psychology involved in that match, and like real life psychology where the guy should have been dead and he's alive and he's getting back in to get hammered again, and so that was cool. But it looked like Kalisto to me was going to try to do something where he swung and did some kind of crazy lucha something off the top, but it just looked like he got scared because he tried to swing. He was swinging for a second. People were trying to gather under him, and then he went back up into and wrapped his legs around like, holy crap, I'm about to do this for real. And so they all had to do something for a second. And then they all come back down in the middle of the ring, and he just kind of fell on him. And nothing was really cool about that. The Ascension was freaking booked stronger in this match than they have been the entire time they've been on the main roster, which is super weird. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I still can't stand the guys. Los Luchadores were exactly what they are, Los Luchadores, used in a couple spots, but nothing really big. I thought Kizarro looked freaking incredible, like always. I mean, they were coming in. Some of the stuff they were doing, some of their double team stuff is just absolutely amazing. And I really hope that we see that team get another run with the titles and do a lot of good for the tag division because they are absolutely freaking amazing in what they do. And of course, the New Day's great, man. They're so good at doing what they do. All three of them pinned Titus O'Neil. Like that is awesome. Okay, the fact that all three of them jumped on like a big freaking pile to pin PTP for the title to retain the titles. That's the little things that make that pop out. But I didn't think it was an awesome match. I just thought it was what it was, the first of its kind, and we'll see if they ever book it again. You guys foresee seeing another tag team Elimination Chamber match at anytime soon?
No. I don't think this one went over as well as they thought, and I think it'd be in their best interest to probably stay away from it for at least a little while.
They need a lot more credible teams to do it again.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. May Young in the chat. suck it. It's our show, not yours. And the dailies have their own show after
R.I.P..
Raw. If you want to see them talk a lot, they talk for like 10 to 15 minutes when I'm trying to set stuff up. Piece of trash. No, so it's really like I really go give birth to a hand. And it's a good day. It's a new day for warm up. So yeah, there weren't a lot of credible teams in it. So we'll see what happens there. The Divas match. We have to talk about the Divas match as much as I don't want to talk about the Divas match.
Ready?
We
3, 2, 1, drop.
Yeah. I don't know, and we could talk about this the whole night. You could hear everything, every call made by anybody. You could hear it. I don't know if it was something with the ring mics being way too loud or what, but holy crap, could you hear every single thing that everybody was talking to each other and saying? Absolutely. I mean, and right at the beginning of the Kevin Owens John Cena match, you hear freaking John Cena yelling at Kevin Owens, "All right, you're gonna throw me in the ropes, I'm gonna give you one. Duck, and then I'll give you one." And then you're like, I'm assuming, what was it gonna give? Oh, shoulder block. Okay, I understand. But you hear everything, and it's just it was atrocious in that retrospect. And the Divas were obviously awful. They were just shouting at each other the entire time. I had a little bit more that I expected from this match, but we didn't get it at all. You had a lot of freaking, and okay. So Nikki Bella retained the title, which I did not see coming at all.
Bella wins.
We can throw that up there. She's literally, and I don't know what their reasoning is for keeping the title on her.
LOL, Bella wins.
Outside of, going to, she's going to surpass probably AJ Lee as the longest reigning Divas champion.
Total Divas premieres. Is it this upcoming week or the week after? They want her to have the belt through that. I figured that out.
But all those
the other two on the show.
Yeah.
But she's the face of the show though.
Not really. They all get the same amount of equal air.
No way. Nikki Bella's totally the face.
John
of
is a
that
Total
show.
Divas expert. You know,
I used
John
to have
does
to cover
wrestling,
Total Divas
so.
for this damn website, and then we just decided to stop. But
you asked if you could stop because you.
I did.
And I said, yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I didn't know how you were watching it that long in the freaking first place. You made it a whole season. I don't know how you did it. Kudos to you.
Good.
What? You're a chick. You're gonna like watching it. It's trash TV. It's like Real Housewives, but it's Divas.
Seriously though, I thought Paige looked rusty in this match. Naomi nearly killed her.
Oh my gosh. That reverse Frankensteiner should never be done by another female ever in the history of life. If it's not Charlotte doing it to Natalya, that move should not come out in a Divas match. Ever. In ever, Jerry.
Hey, you gotta give her points for trying, though. At least.
But she nearly killed her.
Yeah.
She did, but at least she tried.
Here's the thing.
Give Owen Hart some props for trying the tombstone with Stone Cold Steve Austin's noggin hanging out between his legs.
That worked well.
That worked out well. Give D'Lo Brown some props for doing a running powerbomb. Oh, what? I say Owen Hart and everybody doesn't make a sound like. But D'Lo Brown, I could do D'Lo Brown. Give him some props for doing his running powerbomb on a slick Florida draws, and we see what happens there. And that gets the
Well, you weren't talking about Owen dying. It's not like you said give Owen credit for trying to repel from us. Oh, God.
No, because I wanted you to say it. Thank you.
Okay.
Now there's no heat on me for that.
Hey, can we talk about John Cena, Kevin Owens?
It's all you. It's all you. Yeah, we can talk about the match of the night, and quite possibly a match of the year candidate. Me marking out. That's the only thing I can say about Owens versus Cena. Me and my wife, even who really only gets behind NXT at this point, she was freaking popping for every single thing done in the match. Even for Cena, she said Cena was doing great in the ring. Now, outside of the Springboard Stunner, which sucks always, good match from both guys. Cena almost completely cleared Owens with that flying famouser, which did not look good. He just sat on his head basically. But really good stuff from all guys. If Kevin Owens is not looked at as a main eventer by casual fans anymore, like if they still don't understand who Kevin Owens is, something is wrong with these people, and you've got to. I mean, I saw legitimate heat on Twitter from the biggest freaking Cena fans. Like, oh my God, like I hate the guy. Like I couldn't even watch the match. But he'll get a win at Money in the Bank, which I'm gonna go ahead and ruin it for you all, you Cena backers right now. Which I like John Cena. He's a good performer. He's not gonna win clean at Money in the Bank. It's not gonna happen. It's not. And if you want to say that it is, you're wrong. What we predicted for this one, which most of us did, I do believe that Joe Omega was the only one person that picked Kevin Owens clean. So big ups to Joe. But frickin' A, there's got to be a DQ finish. It's the same. They're booking it the same way as Brock versus Cena, which is how they should do it. Lesnar destroyed Cena in the first match. And then the second one had a dispute at the end, where Cena won via DQ. And I think we're going to see the same thing at Money in the Bank. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts on the match because I freaking was popping for everything.
I completely agree with you. I think the next match has to end in some sort of DQ. I don't think either guys will go over clean in this, especially with Owens going clean over first.
What about last night though?
Well, yeah, he won clean. I'm saying the next match shouldn't be clean at all. It should be some sort of DQ.
I think last night's match, I mean, and listen, both men went out and put on a 5-star match. I mean, you can't take anything away from either guy. For me, I think that a lot of the stuff that I saw was I just was kind of turned off by all the deflection from Kevin Owens' talent because, listen, guys, John Cena can lay down for anybody. He can lay down for me, and that doesn't mean I'm going to look like a main eventer. Kevin Owens went out there and proved to the world that he belongs. And if you were a casual fan, you probably thought Kevin Owens was the veteran because he kind of is the veteran because he's kind of been doing this a little bit longer.
The song.
Yeah, kind of just to go off of what Adam said, the same people that thought Cena was going to win clean, now their whole story, just these people that hate Cena think, oh, he's just going to, win at Money in the Bank, then win at Battleground, bury him. You just have a different kind of feel watching the match. I think it was before Rusev made John Cena not tap out, but he just made him just pass out. He won like that, and then maybe last year or 2 years ago, Wyatt, I think, got a win over him, and then he lost at like WrestleMania or whatever. When Owens won, you just had that, like, throughout the whole match, you had to feel this guy's different. This guy went out and actually made himself a main eventer. Just by pinning Cena, you don't become a main eventer. You have to go out there and do it in a certain way, and Owens, I think, impressed majorly in his debut match.
John, did you at least get back to watch that one?
Oh, well, I caught that live. Before I say that, because we have people talking on Twitter, all right, at Heel Wilders, he asked us, here's a question. I said, the Divas match last night was the worst I ever had seen in my life. Too harsh. Yes, that was too harsh. It was not the worst Divas match of all time. Now, getting back to relevant stuff. He got upset we didn't talk about it, so we had
I said it was bad.
Yeah, but anywho. Okay. I loved the booking of the match. I loved the psychology. I loved Kevin Owens' offense. I would not call it a match of the year because, and I rarely knock John Cena, but I actually didn't think John Cena was at his top potential in this match. I thought Cena oversold a lot. And I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to say, oh my God, Owens is actually like a match for Cena, like he's actually giving him a hard time, and he's, to quote Vince McMahon, he's making him look strong. But I thought it was a little too much, and the stunner sucks. Straight up, it sucks.
Awful. It's so bad.
I wasn't feeling it in that regard. I thought everything Owens did, I thought he was fantastic, and I thought he, like you guys all said, cemented himself as a force that's here to stay going forward. Do I think it was a bad match? Not all. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought, like I said, the storytelling was excellent. I just wasn't as crazy about the in-ring action as some other people were.
And see, I have to disagree a little bit because I thought outside of the stunner and the flying famouser,
every punch Owens threw, Cena flew back.
Which to me made it seem like that's what he's supposed to do, make him look strong. He did the same thing for Lesnar at SummerSlam last year.
Yeah, thought it was a little too much, overdone.
You really just want him to be freaking Superman at all times?
No, I don't want him to be Superman, but I want that to. happen as the match rolls on, as you start to get more tired. That's when you start to really, oh crap, I'm taking a beating now. Not from the first opening punch by Owens, fly back 10 feet. But again, that's nitpicking. It was a great match. It was awesome, and their Money in the Bank match will be fantastic too.
Yeah, I mean, and, Jazz is saying that even Owens oversold the clotheslines. I'm like, those are the two hardest hitting Cena clotheslines I've seen in forever. I actually
thought, I made note in my head when that happened. I thought Owens sold that perfectly.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, he got knocked on his. He took a stiff
right to the chin.
Clothesline right to the chin the first time. Literally got back up while they're doing the replay. He takes one and does the Rikishi flip, or the badass Billy Gunn flip. Either one. They used to do that all the time. When he's a big dude doing it, though, I have to compare it to Rikishi, because Rikishi's freaking 475 pounds doing a flip off of a clothesline, which was awesome. And we haven't seen that from a big dude since. So I'm all about seeing Kevin Owens sell.
We got a question. We got a question from Ed. He said, "Is facing Cena a safer move for Owens compared to putting him in Money in the Bank, where less than a win is a step back?"
Oh, Dailies, you want to take that?
I don't think putting him in the Money in the Bank, and if he wouldn't win, I don't think that would be a step back for him, because that's just putting him in a different kind of match, and he'll still be able to show his dominance and what he can do in the match, whether or not he wins it or not. Simply with this Cena match, it wasn't about the fact that he actually pinned Cena. It was the match itself, his ability to perform, and his psychology that he used in the match. And I don't think them putting him in the Money in the Bank match would be a step back from him if he weren't to live.
Nah, I mean, I think when you're in Money in the Bank, you're not getting pinned. There's no submission. I mean, it's basically whoever grabs the briefcase first. So, and depending on how they booked it, I mean, hell, they could have 3 people holding Kevin Owens down at one point, beating him up on the outside of the ring while somebody sneaks in and grabs the briefcase, if it really can. If they really wanted to book it that way. So, I don't think, I think either way, they know what they have with Kevin Owens, and they're going to make sure that he looks strong, period.
Man, I'm glad I don't respond to everything in the chat room. That's all. I just chat people. Just be glad I don't respond to everything, because I could open up some cans at this point. From what I'm reading on the freaking P-Joe says Owens versus The Rock at WrestleMania 32. Book it now.
Book it now. Just remember.
Maybe he forgot the B. I think he forgot the B.
Rock instead of The Rock. That would make more sense.
It's ridiculous.
Bofa.
Bofa. That's exactly right. Bofa will take on Owens at WrestleMania 32. Ask me who Bofa is in the chat room, people.
Giggle.
Giggity.
Maybe he'll face D. I heard D hits hard.
I heard Bofa and D actually hits pretty good. You'd be surprised. But no, it was a great showing. The promo afterwards was just as good as anything else he's done. It solidified him. I thought the promo was freaking amazing. They were supposed to show some a day in the life of Kevin Owens thing on YouTube today, but I haven't seen it drop yet, so I don't know what they're doing there. But maybe they go and use it as a 30-minute special on the network, since he's selling out merch like nuts. Like anytime he comes out with a new shirt, it's gone.
Like D's nuts.
You know what? Let me ask one question. Let me get your guys' opinion on something. I want to get your opinion on this too. Do you think that, because there was a lot of, obviously, negative backlash on Twitter about it was Cena that made Owens, it's this, that, and the other thing. Don't you guys feel like that's just a lot of people that have never watched Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens, and all of a sudden now they're being proven wrong because a lot of us knew who he was and knew what he could do, and then now people who have been saying stuff for years and years and years have to eat crow, because those of us that go to Ring of Honor, those of us that watch the independent circuit, those of us that watch the new territories, which are the independent leagues, yes, we knew what Kevin Owens could do. All he needed was that opportunity. Here.
I mean, to the casual wrestling fan, seeing Kevin Owens for the first time, you're probably perplexed by what you're watching, because he does redefine the mold. He's not your typical wrestler, your typical superstar
guy,
but I obviously today WWE guy, but even out there you don't see a lot of main eventers like him. He's very unique in when he freaking doing backflips and everything. I mean, it's just, you don't see that. And it was so obvious when they had King saying, "Oh, I highly doubt you'll see Owens do any."
Do a triple moonsault, whatever the hell that is.
Then bam. Well, according to Jerry Lawler, the Attitude Era is coming back. So
I did like the fact that
Well, JR was on the call.
That's true. JR was on the call. I was I was impressed that Jerry Lawler even brought up the fact that he wrestled him. They had a pile driver versus pile driver match in 2012, 2013, something like that. And friggin' I popped something fierce when I thought we were about to see a package pile driver. I about lost my mind. He turned it into some kind of slam, but I don't know if he called that spot or if he literally just put him in a package and realized, oh crap, I can't do this, and slammed him. It was just ridiculous. But I went ooh and just lost my mind. If he pulls out a 450 splash at some point, the place is going to explode. Because this is a big dude that can do a 450 splash. It would be nuts to see it again. I mean, I don't think he hasn't done it in a few years, but holy crap. Would lose my mind. Good match, good showing. Outside of the IC Chamber match was, to me, atrocious. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I thought it was a cluster. Thought it was bad. Every little spot. I mean, they ruined the whole thing. Of Sheamus was deliberately on purpose. He blocked the freaking door from being able to open with his necklace, and nobody acknowledged that. They said, "Oh, he fixed it." when he pulls his necklace out,
he
really
want to fix it.
He goes, "Ha ha ha ha," and kisses it, and they're like, "Oh, he fixed it with his necklace." Y'all are dumb. At some point, somewhere on your script, Michael Cole, it says, okay, acknowledge that Sheamus rigged the door with the freaking necklace, and he forgot, and says, "Oh, well, freaking A, he fixed it with his necklace." I forgot. In his head, he's probably like, "Crap, I forgot to acknowledge that." Terrible all the way through. Mark Henry being in there made no sense. You had way too many faces, not enough heels in that match, and it was just bad. I mean, Mark Henry saved Dolph Ziggler in an elimination match, man.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. What? You want that guy gone? Dumb. The whole thing. The match was dumb. It was bad. I fell asleep halfway through and woke up with Ryback getting the strap from Bryan and was like, "What? I can't even imagine this." Like, I fell asleep. What was the spot that Ryback did to get the win? I went back. I watched it today, so I know. But bad. And the Dusty finish didn't do anything for me either.
Just let Alex have his moment so we can move on.
The result is all that matters. I mean, it was a terrible match, but at the end of the day, the result is all that matters, and Ryback finally got his due. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're calling him, they're calling him the good guy now.
Oh, so bad, because now the good guy.
I should have known, too. I forget if it was as he was making his way to the ring, or if it was... they were talking about I don't know if it was a Make-A-Wish thing, but they were talking about some kid that wanted the good guy to win, and the good guy won, and he got a great reaction too from the all baby face, because it's an entire babyface crowd because it was for a live event, so he got a huge pop. But the one thing that I really just I don't get, it seems like every time he's booked, well, he's not booked strong, but whenever he goes out, wins King of the Ring. He got rolled up by Truth or something, I want to say.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully have more on that story. We'll hopefully have more on that story later on, because I will say Dave Meltzer on his radio show today said that there has to be something going on with Barrett in the office, that they have him win the King of the Ring and then go and get beaten first in the Elimination Chamber for the IC title, which he was the #1 contender for how many weeks ago, and gets rolled up by Truth, which is the ultimate slap in the face at this point in WWE. So, don't know what's going on with Barrett, but hopefully we'll have some more information on that later in the week. We'll see what happens, man. But I thought the match was atrocious. You talked about Ed's asking in the chat room what was the slam that Owens used on Cena off the top rope. That's his fisherman suplex. That's just he literally just locked him in a fisherman's and went sideways with it. He had a name for that in Ring of Honor, and I can't remember what it was. Adam, do you remember what the name of that was?
I don't. I
Yeah.
don't.
It's
That's
a
why
fisherman
last night we were
suplex
doing the
that he-
post show. It was killing me that I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's a fisherman suplex that he hooks and nails sideways. It's basically a fisherman's AA.
They get so much air.
Or
So
a
much air.
fisherman's Death Valley driver, if you will, because he lands with them. So it was an awesome spot. I'll give you that. The main event didn't really do anything for me outside the match. The match was good. Too much interference near the end of the thing, and of course the dusty finish was just atrocious. The best thing that we got out of that was we actually finally got to see a graphic that said Dean Ambrose is WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We got to see him holding the belt, and we got to see the face that Seth Rollins made, where everyone's making memes of, and I think mine today was perfect.
Yeah, I will say, I blasted the ending. I really hated the ending
It was
last
bad.
night. But I will say it does give us a cool little thing with Ambrose stealing the belt. But here's the thing: they got to execute with that. They have to have Ambrose cannot give that belt back until at least Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and this is gonna let's go ahead and start talking about Raw because this has got to carry over into the opening segment tonight. This dusty finish has to carry over. Sam, you're giggling. What are you? What's your thoughts
No,
there?
I was giggling to myself because we were actually talking about this last night on the post show. I was gonna say they're gonna arrest Dean Ambrose again for stealing, probably because WWE logic. They love to arrest people, and Dean Ambrose for some reason lately. So I can see the Authority having Dean Ambrose arrested for stealing the WWE title. I'm not prepared for this.
The funny thing is, I'm not even gonna say that won't happen because it very well could. Triple H's post-match warning to Dean Ambrose was if he doesn't give it back immediately at the start of Raw, which of course that means opening segment, that he would pay ultimate consequences. Whether that's Big Show coming out and punching him in the face, or and crying about it, or if that means handcuffs. I don't know, but Authority's going to come out first with Seth Rollins going nuts about not having his strap, and Dean will have to come out and do something, and of course Roman Reigns will come out too in his overly giddy and happy character right now, which is going to lead to a heel turn at some point. I'm going ahead and put that in the book. It just seems like he's being way too chummy. They're drinking beer, and he wanted to be in his corner. It just seems very, very sketchy. If he wins the Money in the Bank, I don't know how they get to the heel turn, but it's definitely going to happen. But no, there's no way that that Ambrose and Reigns don't come out together and some tag match gets made for the freaking main event, or opening match. Either way, something's happening with the Authority in the first segment though.
We agree though. He's got to keep that belt through Money in the Bank, right? Like he has to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it would be best for business to not use a pun that's been overly used.
Right? No, like. Oh, okay. Let's pose this question, and maybe we find out tonight, since there's only 2 weeks till Money in the Bank. What is our WWE World Heavyweight Championship match? Is it just a straight up rematch? Do you think?
It's gotta be a rematch. Like what other match would you do?
I'm asking you guys. I mean, you got to think they might put a gimmick on it.
Well, I'd actually like to see a ladder match for the title, maybe between.
If they did a straight up one-on-one ladder match between Ambrose and Rollins.
Well, Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose, just a couple of different people.
Well, Reigns is in Money in the Bank.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, what about
I'll tell you what,
this?
you know what? Because we only have one Money in the Bank match now, do your briefcase match, and then last year they did it with the 6 men or whatever it was. Do it straight up between Rollins and Ambrose.
Yeah. I mean, I would be happy seeing a ladder match on top of the Money in the Bank. Not gonna lie. And you know that Ambrose and Rollins, who showed out big time in the Money in the Bank last year, can have a phenomenal ladder match. Alex, what do you think, man?
I would like to see a ladder match, but seeing that Lesnar will probably return at Battleground, and I would assume he's just going to face Rollins straight up at Battleground. I just want to see some kind of match. Maybe it's a ladder match. I just want to see Rollins pin Ambrose clean and get a clean win. Just build up your champion, because he's going to have to go into that Lesnar match looking strong.
Yeah, he has not had a clean win on a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
Mm.
Now, they're still going to add more people into
The
the
Fatal 4-Way, didn't he?
What was it at what?
The Fatal 4-Way at Payback.
A 4-way?
Was there not interference from J&J in there? Or Kane? Kane was still involved?
Okay, yeah, no, wait, Kane, he turned, no, wait, no, then it wasn't That was
Kane was-
Extreme Rules, wasn't it?
There has not been a if somebody find it. If there's a clean victory for Rollins at a pay-per-view, I will apologize and eat crow. But there's no. I am not coming up with anything that doesn't involve Kane or J&J.
Yeah. Huh.
What about a rematch tonight on Raw? They've done it before, and then they could put Ambrose in the in the Money in the Bank. If he loses, then he can somehow squeak into Money in the Bank.
Would be a good segue. Would be a good way to get eyes on the third hour, and then consistently pimp out the fact that Heyman's going to be on Austin's podcast afterwards. Have a title match on Raw. They don't do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Would be interesting to see.
Why would they reward him though?
I know. Well, how are they going to get him to have how are they going to get him to a rematch?
Well, the way you get him to a rematch is by saying, okay, we'll actually give you a chance at actually holding the belt.
Okay, well, why couldn't that happen tonight?
I'm just saying there's no point. It could happen tonight, but I'm saying there's no point in you being like, okay, here's your championship match. Oh, you didn't win? Well, here, go be in Money in the Bank now.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what doesn't make sense. I'm not saying the championship match tonight doesn't make sense.
So who do we see as, Sheamus is in the Money in the Bank. Who do we see as Ryback's next opponent? I don't see anybody but Bray Wyatt being a possibility here.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really feuded with anyone other than Bray Wyatt lately, so that's the only logical.
Yeah, because I don't think him and Bray are done yet. I think that goes Bray.
I don't know. Walter was saying that Bray Wyatt didn't cheat to beat Ryback at Payback. I'm like,
he used an exposed
he
thing.
exposed the turnbuckle too.
Yeah,
that's cheating.
Yeah.
He definitely exposed the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
But he has a clean win over the Intercontinental Champion. Clean being used sparingly, John.
Right.
But he has a pinfall over the Intercontinental Champion. Maybe he comes out tonight and goes after him. I don't care what anybody says about Ryback being champ. Yeah, cool, he has a belt. The matches are going to be absolute crap because. What?
If Bray Wyatt challenges for the IC title, give Roman Reigns Money in the Bank right now. Just hand it to him now. There's no point in having a match.
I mean, it looks like that's how they're going with it, man.
There's no point in having a match.
I mean, I agree because it's not going to be Neville.
Who's going to win, Kofi?
It's not going to be Kofi. It's not going to be Neville. Sheamus maybe, but he's not. I mean, Sheamus has never won Money in the Bank, right?
He's been in a million of them.
He's been in a lot of them, but he's never won it. Look what they did 2 years ago with Randy Orton. Been in a lot and gets the win. Ryback's going to have atrocious Intercontinental title matches. It's going to be bad. They can't keep the belt on him long. It can't sustain. Maybe go through Wyatt, and either Wyatt gets it and starts having relevant matches with other people, or they give it to Sheamus at Battleground and have people chase Sheamus because there's no way Ryback can keep it up. Sorry. Hate to deliver the bad news. But we do have Kevin Owens on the show tonight. John Cena should be responding to Kevin Owens and what happened last night, especially responding to the promo. What do you guys expect there? We gotta get Cena saying something to get to the rematch, which I don't know. I even understand why they booked a rematch already. Makes zero sense that there's already a rematch booked. They just wanted to announce something for the card during the pay-per-view last night for Money in the Bank that wasn't the Money in the Bank match, and so they went ahead and announced this rematch, which Kevin Owens doesn't have to agree to because he beat John Cena. So I don't understand it. What do y'all expect to see here in their segment? And the crowd goes quiet. What do you expect to see?
There are people who think this leads to John Cena winning the NXT Championship, for the record.
I hope
Really?
that not ever happen. Keep John Cena away from NXT, please.
How do you who
Do a Twitter search, man. It's all over Twitter. There's people who think this leads to John Cena winning the NXT Championship.
This is the most ridiculous
I've
thing I've
actually
ever
had
heard.
that thought as well as being something that they might consider, simply because Owens keeps coming up and just trash talking the U.S. title, saying it doesn't mean anything, and with Owens stepping on it. I can see them actually giving the title to Cena, but I'm really, really, really hoping that they don't.
You have a better chance of seeing CM Punk, Alberto Del Rio, and Chris Jericho all return tonight than John Cena ever holding the NXT Championship.
Totally agree, and that's a really good analogy. Throw in Ricardo Rodriguez, that zombie body as well. That'll be a good return tonight if John Cena wins the NXT Championship. I don't know. There's a lot on deck for Raw. It should be a good show, hopefully. I mean, we've got 2 weeks. I mean, the last
Big Show might face Ryback. That might be the guy who.
That would be the absolute.
What a match!
Shats. It would be so bad.
That's probably going to be the.
John, why you got to bring up stuff?
We should have ended this thing already.
Why are you gonna pull that out and say, oh well, it could be Big Show? Because now I'm just depressed.
Drink.
No. Anyway, there's a lot that could happen tonight on Raw, which goes live at 8. Of course, the WWE tries to do a pre-show. It's never as good as this one. At 7:30 p.m. on the WWE Network, where they kind of reveal things that's going to happen on the show. So maybe you want to watch it, maybe don't. I don't know. But that's going to happen at 7:30 on the WWE Network. I want to thank everybody that came on. Of course, Lady Nexus 13 and Adam Daly 13 on the Twitter. You can follow them there. And, of course, they'll be doing a review show after the Austin podcast with Paul Heyman tonight. When that's done, they will do a review on both Raw and the podcast right here on WrestlingRumors.net. Don't miss that. And, of course, after that is done, you can watch Wrestle Reaction with Frank Manzo and his co-host, not yet to be named. Alex B. Song, of course, at Glassmode ALB. The Ryback. You're just so excited, aren't you?
All of your Bofa tweets, send them along.
Yeah, Bofa works. Just send Alex a tweet asking who Bofa is, and he'll be very excited tonight to fill you in on who that is. You can follow John Alba, not at Brima but you can follow him at John Alba SFC on the tweets, and you can talk to him about baseball too, because he has to watch a lot of it, like kind of all day. And follow along on Twitter. My
band's new single, you see it right there, Done, Doug. You've heard it. It rocks, right? It's debuting tomorrow. Check it out,
man. I want the mastered copy.
Coming your way, man.
Yep, you know how I do. You can follow me at Doug O'Mac, and of course at WrestleRumors, the live tweet all throughout Raw, and of course the Austin podcast. I will not stop tweeting. I will keep tweeting during the Austin podcast. Hopefully we get something from the, of course, always controversial Paul Heyman. I'm sure at some point maybe your boy Adam, maybe CM Punk even gets brought up again from Stone Cold. I'm sure they have a list of things they've told Stone Cold not to talk about on this thing, and maybe he just rips that up and throws it away. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is between the company and Austin at this point, since he's going to be doing so many. I don't know what is ironclad in what he can talk about and what he can't talk about, but last week on his podcast, he literally said that he thinks Raw is a dumbed-down product and he doesn't like watching it. He likes watching NXT. Can he talk about that tonight? I would really like to see that. He really thinks that that Raw is dumbed down and kind of moronic. I'd love to see him say something about that to Paul Heyman.
Well,
we'll see.
Maddie just posted that Funaki is backstage at Raw, so indeed, everyone.
Indeed, Funaki going to run in and get destroyed by
Ryback's opponent.
So Funaki comes out of retirement to, of course, face Ryback at Money in the Bank. You can book it now. You'll get a lot of choppy references.
Hey, Doug, to end this broadcast, why don't you just start moving your mouth and I'll talk for you in honor of Funaki.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've tuned into Wrestling Warm-Up. Thanks so much for joining all of us, including the incredibly talented John Alba, the lovely Sam Daly, Adam Daly, the lovely, lovely husband of Sam Daly, and, of course, both of these nuts. You've been watching Wrestling Warm-Up. We'll see you next time.